Welcome back to this special edition of Young Turks Newsmaker 2016. I have with me Vijay Shekhar Sharma of Paytm. In this segment, Vijay, let's talk about what you believe is going to be the biggest vertical within 197, which was something that you established back in 2000, 197,
right.
Correct? Is the Paytm payment bank.
Yes.
Tell us what you were thinking when you applied for that payment bank license, when that circular came out. What were you thinking? Was it just a lark?
No.
Or was it well thought out strategy? Tell us.
I always had a dream to build something which will really bring about a change and impact a large audience in this country. And when I say large audience, I meant hundreds of millions of people. Obviously, we were doing payments, and payments business model had an obligation that you don't have much money to be made in this business at a large level unless you sort of do few more financial services. And the kind of regulation we have in this country restricted wallet companies to do few more businesses which are required for us to sustain. So when payment bank license came, I was like, I can't believe that we can become a payment bank, if you will, which is where the transaction-led revenue model is a business model. Like now, I thought that we will be like a very sincere long-term wallet, and one day we'll go to the RBI and say that, how about if we can apply for a bank, or is there a permission we can invest or acquire in a bank which is there out there. So in a business model of wallet itself, we did have an expectation that someday we will become a bank. Because wallet as a business model is not necessarily that sustainable and viable at the spends that we are talking about.
Exactly, because the spends are, the margins are
very low. You are expected to be in a small ticket business, and you are expected to be in a high volume business at a very low margin.
Correct.
And you will have to spend a lot, like we talked about the number, like last year, FY16, we spent 2,500 crores overall, and we made 1,000, so 1,600 crores is the total spend where we're talking. Now, Paytm Payment Bank, when we applied, we had a clarity and ambition out and out clear that we will bring about 500 million of those who do not have a bank account on banking universe. I mean, I don't think that Paytm Bank will be called successful if it just became another bank for the people who have a bank already.
Okay.
So people like you and me, yes, we want to be the bank for them. We want to be the superior bank which is working using smartphone for them. We want to make sure that our business goes the place where any other bank has not gone. And that is what the mission and the vision that we're carrying to the payment bank. And we very clearly written in our boardroom saying we will bring 500 million Indians to the mainstream of economy. I don't think banking is for a deposit account. I believe that banking relationship brings this person who does not have access to the mainstream benefits, mainstream economic benefits will come to him or her.
But that is something, Vijay, that the largest banks in our country have not been able to achieve, right? Because for a large part of their history, it had to be brick and mortar. There was little choice for them outside of that. In the last 5-6 years,
they become equally digital.
They've become equally digital, or perhaps building out their own wallets. Now that we have UPI, it kind of gives them another impetus. Just going into a business that's going to be so competitive with the Arundhati Bhattacharyas of the world and the Chanda Kochars of the world and the Aditya Puris of the world, what is going to be that defensive moat that you spoke of?
Well, first of all, I don't think that we will at all address the market they are addressing.
Correct.
So I think what SBI does, what HDFC or ICICI do, they do incredibly well, and they are the institution we look up to become one. And not doing the same business to the same customer, we will never become one of them.
So who is the customer that you are targeting?
Our customer base is the customer base who will be 500 million, but if one customer of one of these banks was to be valued, the value of at least 50 or 100 customers will come from here.
I feel stupid asking this, but I'm going to ask you, what was the high point for 2016? Was it in the last 45 days? Was it before that? It's been an entire year, actually.
Yeah, it's an entire year. There are two high points in my life that happened. One is that when I saw our transaction volumes, and we were expecting these numbers to happen in 2017 or 18, and I was seeing them here in front of us. Today we have more than 1,000 crore of consumer deposits, and interest-free obviously. I think that number itself says the amount of trust that we've taken. My high point was when a remote district collector in Mizoram was teaching to a school with not just teachers but other people how they were transferring money between two Paytm accounts. This is a district collector in Mizoram teaching this, and I was like, I have a most proud moment when my customers and our brand ambassador wear our brand on their sleeves and very proudly talk about it. So that is the truest high point of my life, which happened in the last few days, as you can see. Another was, in my life, I have very clearly said this in the past also, Masa-san keeps a very high position because his history is so incredible, so inspiring, it is amazing. I happened to meet Masa a few days back, and the kind of conversation I had, I could have not believed that I was having that conversation, and I even quoted to him that I wish God grants me this humility, this humbleness, and this zeal at your age and at your stature.
Okay.
That conversation
what was the one thing in that conversation that has stayed with you and that will stay with you? Piece of advice. He's also indirectly one of the biggest shareholders in the company, upwards of 40% now.
Correct.
So
he said, I mean, it is odd for me to share on television, but I want to tell you that he said few words related to me and our relationship with SoftBank itself, and I had to hold his hand and said that, Masa, you don't have to say that.
Okay.
And I immediately said, I wish at your stature I have this humility. So he said few things which meant that even person with so much of more in their world side on that side, so much they've achieved and so much they can do to someone, he was so humble and so grounded. It was so incredible for me. I had to hold his hand to say that, Masa, you don't say please these words to me. It brings out a very different persona of him in front of me, and it also tells me one thing, that when you are on a mission and a journey, even if some of us are in a higher milestone and some of others will be not there, we shouldn't treat them like a very small. We should treat them like they are the one because of which we are forward. So I think amazing lesson in life came last few months.
All right. And one lesson that you want to leave young viewers, young entrepreneurs who are embarking on their entrepreneurial journey in 2017 with?
All success and all excitement will always look at it overnight. It was 16 years for 1972 to get this day. So never be short charging. Have a perseverance, sincerity, play long. You will get your due, but you have to play really long. Short-term gains, you don't even get them.
All right. So that was Vijay Shekhar Sharma, first featured on the show back in 2006, and he's been at it for much longer. Thank you very much for tuning into this special, and we'll catch you in 2017 now.